I'm Cyber Sapp. I'm from this country ass town called Waynesboro, Georgia. I'm here today sitting with Homebwoi in his studios. But I've been a music head since I was a jit, young boy. I used to sell newspapers and buy music back in the day. Long story short, went to college, got kicked out, went to another college, got kicked out, went to another college, actually played some football before I got kicked out. True story. So, yeah, I'm here today. Been a producer for a while, put out about 13 projects. A couple of projects got Homebwoi on it. So yeah, we've been knowing each other for a while, but I'm here today to kind of give you a little light on who I am, just a little bit. And I may be known for this record called Freaky Girl, but I also had a song called Hey Fuckboy as well. I ain't legendary like Homebwoi, but I've been around. I met Homebwoi through Bo Hagan. Bo Hagan, at the time I was managing Bo Hagan, we had a label called Black Cartel that we pushed through Asylum and Warner Brothers. And one of the records that Bo Hagan had was called Do Your Thing. And he was adamant about getting this record on, and I'm like, oh, okay, you making sure, because we got to make sure we got to lock all our producers in. And he said, yeah, Homebwoi, my guy, man, he's been doing some Georgia work with us, and I want to make sure, we get love back to Homebwoi. So I said, okay. So I got Homebwoi on the phone. He got us the records. We did the Do Your Thing, and Hagan wanted to make it his single. So I was like, oh, okay. So now I got with Crunk Energy Drink, and I said, hey, I need the Unimog and some other stuff to pull this off. And I said, and let's make sure that we get Homebwoi in the video to make sure he get a good look. So that day was kind of busy because we had to schedule a flatbed to get the Unimog on site. We had to get cops to allow us to shoot this video in the middle of a parking lot. Then we had to get wardrobe and everything. It was chaotic, but that day I met Homebwoi, and we made sure that we got everything we needed for the video, and then we became friends thereafter. So that's how I met Homebwoi. Me, I always do my research. So when I heard of Homebwoi, because I'm one of those people that I like to make sure that I know who I'm talking to give them the level of respect that they require. I heard him on some of the stuff from what Smurf was doing with Yin Yang. Like they had a couple of anthems and stuff like that, and I knew that he was making good music. I just never met him, And I'm a country boy, right? So I gravitate to country artists, Not saying Griffin country, but it's country as hell, So I want to make sure that I link. That's how Bo Hagan and I, we kick so well, because we country boys. We in the city, and we making moves without having to be assimilated, But we know our way around. So when I first met Homebwoi, I was like, yeah, he was exactly who I expected to be, a down home brother, more or less, So like I said, we've been kicking it for many years, and it's because of that first connection that is a kindred spirit, that brought us together. I always call artists creatives, right? Homebwoi has been a creator without the depressants. I never met him high. You know what I mean? So it's kind of hard in this field to be an inebriated or non-inebriated artist, right? And every time I met Homebwoi, he hadn't been high, so that's a plus for me. But he always had energy. He always was down for the challenge. It's crazy because I put Homebwoi into film. We shot a film pilot that I produced, and he's such a comedic presence to me that I'm like, you know what, you should be in film. And so every time we talk, it's about, hey, my brother, and we always uplifting each other. So that is the reason why we still friends today, is because if one of us not laughing on the phone, something wrong, and we want to make sure that end of this, by the time we get off the phone, somebody done caught a laugh here or there. So yeah, that's how I feel. Honestly, producer. Even though he throws some bars around, his production has been spectacular. I we kind of this. I'm not an artist at all. I'm a creative, but Homebwoi does it all. But I think if he were to focus on production, because he's incredible making beats. Me, I gravitate to his beats, but lyrically, he's not too far behind it. But from a production perspective, man, I ride with his beats. Like I was saying, like we had shot a video, the Do Your Thing video, and I'm gonna share a couple stories. I might share some. So, we shot a Do Your Thing video, and like I said, we were trying to get everywhere, and he was trying to sync with Hagen, like where we want to be. But he was coming from Griffin. He was getting, I don't know if he was getting off work or what, but we were just like missing each other at spots. But I just know it was hot as hell, and the cameras kept cutting off. And when he got on the set, it was so hot, man. We had to cool the cameras down, so we had umbrellas over the cameras and stuff. And it made it feel like we didn't want him in the video, but it's like, no, it ain't that, dog. It's the shit is broke. We can't make it. I done came a long way. I'm like, dog, calm down, man. We gonna get you in the video. We gonna make this video work, bro. You gonna be in the video. Trust me. Just trust me, man. So we ended up getting the cameras back together, man. We put them in the Unimog, man. We rode out with it. It made it look like we were riding out with a bunch of chicks or whatever. But that's one story. And another story is, man, like I said, man, we were shooting this video. This XOXO, this matchmaker video, right? Which later became what's the guy named? Stevie J. That my pilot, we pitched this. Long story short, it ended up being Stevie J's little spinoff from Love and Hip Hop. So we had Homebwoi as a barber in the barbershop. It was him, Knox, and a couple other. It was the most hilarious thing in the world. And I'm gonna send you the clip. I'll let you include the clip on this thing. So, man, when I tell you a natural comedian, Homebwoi might have missed his call of being a comedian. It's just natural with him, man. And those are some of the most memorable stuff from Homebwoi. That other people didn't know, that he's really funny in real life. That's a tough question because of situations that he was put in, right? Coming from College Park, you can only get a certain amount of light. And there's a window for opportunity, and a lot of opportunity wasn't, they didn't meet each other, right? So a lot of people don't know Homebwoi, but to rate him, I don't think it's fair to even rate it whether it's underdog, because it's all about presence, right? And sometimes people don't want you in the limelight for some reason, right? So you have to fight that. So you don't even get a rate card, because you're fighting trying to get to the limelight. Like if you had like 8 big brothers, and by the time you grew up, the limelight gone, because hell, it took you 8 years to get there. When they had the limelight the whole 8 years, So I can't rate him as an underdog or overrated. I just think that he should have been rated a long time ago, and he should have put some numbers up on the board by now. After hearing this project, no. I think that this project is needed. So let me digress a little bit. So life happens, challenges happen, right? But good music come along sparingly, right? So the way this project sounds sonically, I think his potential hadn't even been scratched. The surface hadn't even been scratched, because it's grown folk music, right? And grown folk music doesn't have an age. It shouldn't age. And I think it's a timeless record if he builds on it. So I'm not saying he shouldn't. I'm just saying it all depends on how far he want to take this project. Because I feel like if he builds on top of this project, sky's the limit still. Because sonically, he's there. Opportunity, like I said earlier, people for some reason, you may cuss somebody's mama out. You don't know. She might have been a stinking ass lady. I don't know. My point is, you can step on toes and not knowing you step on toes, but you don't get a chance to correct it in our community, right? And in the music community, it's so fickle that he may have said something to somebody and they didn't like it, or he may have been having a conversation and they didn't like it. And I'm not going to put it solely on who he was signed to or whatever, but it could have been an attorney. It could have been anything to where the country boy always get boxed out. And I just felt like he was the country boy on the outside getting boxed out. They wanted his creativity, but they boxed him out. I'm not saying there wasn't any other opportunities. I'm just saying that he missed some opportunities that was not presented to him. Or they were presented in a way that took advantage of him. So that's one of the reasons why. But again, if the rollout for this new project is right, I think he'll be okay. This new one with Killer Mike. This new one with Killer Mike going hard. That John Blaze. I like Do Your Thing, to be honest with you. I like the bounce of Do Your Thing. I like what it was saying. I like the vibe of it. He also done some production stuff for me. The Color Outside the Line record has been incredible. The brilliance. It's more about his production to me than artistry, but The Color Outside the Line, it was a beautiful record. And then we did a Zuma record, and that was amazing. Man, it's a couple of records, but but that new Killer Mike record, only because it's fresh, it's hammer hard. And like I said, the Zuma record that we did, that was dope. That was dope. My hard drive fell. And we couldn't get the full mix, but we still got a mix on it. But man, that was an incredible record. And then Do Your Thing with Bo Hagen, that was classic. Being that, like I said, we kindred spirits and we have opportunities in other spaces. I think I'm gonna tell you, Bone Crusher told me this one long time ago. He said you'll never be famous because you're scared to give up the thing. You never starve. And I was like, Bone, I got kids. I ain't fucking starving. I'm not starving. So Homebwoi, he ain't gonna starve, right? So we never were forced to be in a situation to where music was it. We had to live and die and feed our family by music. So that may have been our Achilles all along, but now with the event of new media and internet sensationalism, now I think we were ahead of our time. Now I think the times are coming back to where we can be creatives and not have to leave our home. So what has held him back now shouldn't be an impasse today. Man, I'm opening 7 restaurants. So, I mean, okay, from me, I still love music. I just need to be inspired by creative people. But then I'm a executioner, right? So I like to make sure that we don't just do good music, high five each other, and it sits on the hard drive. I want to release music, and I want to do it in a rapid rate. Good music in a rapid rate with the plan to get it to the masses. So what's next for me is to get involved with a project that speaks to me, like this Homebwoi project. And we'll see where things go. But you will see me back being more active, but at my own pace. And again, like I said, I'm building new restaurants, but I'm also looking to get back to moving around in the music field. And one of the DJs, I did some music for my daughter a few years ago, and one of the DJs, I was like, I'm back, and he's like, you back from where? And I was like, okay. I knew where he was going when he said it because we can speak like that. He was saying you never left, you just hit pause on the moment. Your music is still being played. You're being played across the country. And it may not be the song that you know, but it's being played everywhere. So you never left. It's just a matter of you press pause on new content. So I'm finna press play here soon.
All right.
This new project that Homebwoi has, How to Tame an Elephant, it's gonna speak to a lot of people. It's grown-up music. If I were you, I would sit down and take a listen to it and give it a spin, several spins. He got two nice, solid moments on there where it's gonna inspire you. He got an I Believe record that's pretty big. He's got one with Killer Mike and one with 4 Eyes. That's pretty good. Solid content and music. My inspiration to him is that he build on it and make sure that people get to experience Homebwoi in today's night. Don't try to relive something from the past, from where he at now mentally. And I think he's gonna see how his impact reaches the masses more than he think today. But if you get a chance to go listen to it, go listen to How to Tame an Elephant. It's dope.